What is Mind's Eye? Is the biggest question I've been asked on all of my videos covering this game. And today we're going to dive into some really key information that's actually going to reveal things. I spent a bunch of time doing the homework for this one, so lock in. We're going to be talking about Mind's Eye, what it is, and all the features. One of the biggest questions has been, is this an open world? What type of world is it? What are you going to be getting on the gameplay systems? And while we don't have a full showcase of every single thing in it, we know a lot about the game and we're going to be covering it extensively. So stay tuned, locked in, let's do it. Okay, first things first, Mind's Eye is a third person action adventure story driven game. And it's definitely, as you can see, a sci fi where you're going to have some special abilities. For example, you see them scan the enemies here. You're going to have drones you can use. There's a lot of different weapons and, of course, a bunch of different areas to explore and tons of action. The game also features driving. You're going to be getting to traverse all over the place as well. And we got a lot of confirmation on locations, to be honest. Kind of not a spoiler, but one of the interviews showcased a ton of really important things that I feel like is critical to the game overall. And I want to kind of point that out as well. We're going to be able to go to a lot of locations in the game. Now, the fact that that has so many different features, I think that's what made people wonder, where is this? What is this? Is this an open world? What is the features? And that's the question we'll answer in a minute. I got some really cool stuff about that. But first and foremost, just kind of to take you through a quick introduction, Jacob is our military veteran who volunteered for a neural implant called Mind's Eye, which has caused him nightmares and basically ruined his life. And so in this game, you're going to be playing as him, trying to uncover everything that is happening, which is super interesting. And then from there, of course, you'll have flashbacks about his past life, and then also be able to play the current day events where he's a little older and has more experience. That's what the core of the game is. But if you watch my footage here, this is you traveling through an amazing city, which you probably, like me, would love to explore and kind of just hang out and see what's going on. And you're going to get to, and I do believe it's going to be a really good time when we get our hands on this and experience it for ourselves. The developers expressed that they have a bunch of different vehicles that feel different than each other. You can really have fun traveling and traversing with the vehicles, and it is a part of the game. For example, whether it's a car chase or something that you have to do like a delivery or something, it is all a part of the system within the gameplay. And this caused a lot of speculation even from myself about, man, this looks like an open world to me. I mean, this just this clip here is not a very long clip, but it was long enough to tell me, whoa, this is big time stuff. And so the reason I bring that up is because there is a variety of locations, and I'm going to just show you a screenshot of something, which is a bunch of different missions within the game. And these aren't the confirmed missions. This is a tool within the game that allows players to recreate and change the missions and things within the game, which is a separate topic that you can watch one of my videos about that. But today, the reason I bring this up is because all the different locations that you see on the left are basically locations you'll be able to explore. And then the developers also confirm this right here. It says the studio has chosen to control the pacing through a story-led structure, best compared to Mafia Definitive Edition. And I want to stop there, but I'm going to keep going. You want to pay attention to the Mafia Definitive Edition. You're going to be compelled to be going from mission to mission to mission. Adam Whiting is the assistant creative director for Mind's Eye. Really, we want the feeling like if you're reading chapters in a book, or I suppose in the more modern day, binging your favorite Netflix show, going from episode to episode. While those missions are designed to be delivered explosive spectacle through third person shootouts, high octane car chases, Bungie has been careful to balance with tender moments for character development and nuance. Now, so this the reason why this is important is because I did a thing, guys. I did a thing. And what I did was take my time and check out Mafia Definitive Edition. I played almost the whole game recently after hearing this interview, so I did all the homework so you won't have to. I didn't remember this game as much. It came out like 10 years ago or something, but well, I'm lying, not 10 years ago, 5 years ago or something like that by the time I'm making this video. And I just didn't give this the time it deserved. And now I kind of see what they're doing. And so to kind of point out what you're seeing here, this is an open world area and there's a lot of city to explore. And it looks like an open world, and you can kind of call it an open world because it does have all the features of what an open world is. You can travel, go here, go there, and you can actually avoid going to your main mission if you wanted to. Like, for example, you're watching a piece of it here and just go somewhere totally different and ignore the actual mission if you really felt like it. And the reason why this is important, and the reason I want to kind of like stress this, is because this is what MindsEye is offering. So from what I've seen and played in this game, you have a really expansive world, open world, but it is not that type of game. Meaning you're not just going to run around and run into some NPC that's going to say, hey, come do this mission for me. From what I've seen, they've stuck you in the story and they have you, hey, go meet up Sally. This is a mafia movie, of course. Go meet up Sally. And next thing you know, you're in a fight. You're in a gunfight. And you're like, hey, let's get out of here. And then now you have to run away in the car, go through that situation, try to survive, you know, whatever scenarios that they put you in. Somebody, maybe you're getting chased by the police or some enemies. And you have to, you know, escape and get to your hideout. Losing your tail, like for example, like avoiding this situation. Those are the kind of things that happen in this game. And then of course there's the action segments where you're running and gunning, you're fist fighting sometimes, other times you're, you know, having a crazy shootout or sneaking in an enemy base to exfil something. There's things of that nature that happen throughout the game that make it very, you know, balanced. And, you know, even in this segment here, you're fist fighting because you were kind of on a date with a girl. But no spoilers. This is very early on in the game. But the concept is this is going to be what I believe MindsEye will offer. A game where they're not going to give you this giant open world and just stick you in there and make you play 80 hours of, you know, random stuff that has nothing to do with the story. What they've explained is that they're going to really focus in to give you a true experience. And that's where, you know, you should expect that. Does that mean that there isn't an open world? No. And of course, if you play this game, it's a cool game, by the way. So check it out if you can. But it's basically all types of areas, and you're going to be able to traverse all over these areas at will during these missions if you're given the chance, outside of like a story aspect where you're stuck. And it's pretty good as far as, you know, whether you like this game or not. The structure of it is something that we can appreciate as far as open content for a good story. And so for me, that is where MindsEye might excel and become something special beyond what we know or see now with these kind of games, right? And that's how I feel about it. I think that it's doing its job for what it needs to be. And so that is it honestly the best way that I've found, and I've done a lot of research on like what does it mean that this is not an open world, and the developers haven't showcased footage of what that means. And Mafia does. Mafia Definitive Edition definitely does kind of showcase that. You have a lot of areas you'll be going to. You even go out of town, and it was like a 10-minute drive. Like, well, maybe I lied, but it was a very long drive. And we ended up going out of town, and it wasn't in the city anymore. And then we ended up coming back, of course, through some missions. But I do believe that's the standard. And I think maybe if you're into this type of game and you want to just check this out, is what like I did, because I'm excited for MindsEye. And I'm still not done. Maybe I'll stream the rest of this by the time before the game releases, just to get a feel for this kind of mission. And I do love story driven games, so should be fun. Now I want to kind of just come back to footage of MindsEye and discuss a couple things as we kind of cut through different areas of the game. And I want to kind of skip through and show you guys, okay, this is a big city, it is packed, it looks beautiful, and of course we would all want this to be an open world. But the truth is, the developer said that they have another game which most likely will use this city as an open world game. They didn't want to just stick you in here as Jacob. I believe that the open world that we're going to get from the same studio in a year or two is going to be a character created world where you're capable of being yourself, whatever type of character you want to create, and then you can go in here and experience multiplayer and co-op and, you know, PvP also most likely. So that is their idea, and that's this studio is doing a lot of amazing things, and that's why I'm excited. But that to me is going to be spectacular. If it is the same city, this is such a slick way for a studio to introduce, you know, the city by having a cool story driven experience and then saying, hey, visit Red Rock. This is your location and your area, because they've been promoting this. This is a clip of Red Rock on its own. It's a short clip here, guys, but it shows you this is the safest city in the world. But and then everything goes crazy with the robots and all the madness that happens. So the question is, you know, is this going to be at the same time? And are we visiting Red Rock, the city, as our open world when that other game comes out? Right? That's a big question. Who knows? I mean, I'm just a person covering the game. I'm excited about it and I want to know more. And again, anytime I get information, if I can interview the developers and just kind of get into their mindset about how they designed this game, you can see some of the explosives, the physics, you know, the UI, and kind of the overall gameplay aspects of this game. You can see you was in one location and now you're on a car chase. And I do, like I said, believe that this is going to expand the universe in a special way where you're capable of, like, wow, there's a lot to this game. It's not just, you know, a one trick pony. So that's what's exciting. And of course, uncovering the truth about Jacob and everything that happened to him, and this experiment that they have called MindsEye, which is the neural implant that he has on the back of his neck, which gives him like superpowers in a way. So it's exciting. It's interesting. I totally get that people are curious, like myself, about what does it mean it's not an open world. Now, I'm not worried about every game being open world. I do play a lot of open world games and it's fun, but I don't mind this. And I do think that there is an opportunity we would want to explore the universe and play. But the developers basically said that they want to focus in on this story, and then later on a new game, part 2, episode 2, they calling it, will be the open world. So very cool. But that's the research and the homework I did with Mafia Definitive Edition, kind of giving me a preview of what to expect. And then now we have, you know, some footage of what the game MindsEye is looking like and playing like. So there you go. So hopefully this was informative. If it was, make sure you leave a like. Other than that, I hope y'all have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves out there. Should have another video popping up on MindsEye right now. See you there. Peace.